From Amateur Radio Newsline Report, number 1988, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. Imagine being a student in the year 2000 and having a QSO with a ham somewhere out in space. It happened at the Luther Burbank School in the Chicago suburbs at the dawn of a program called Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. Amateur Radio Newsline's Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, talked to the science teacher who was lucky enough to help her students be chosen to talk with ISS astronaut William M. Shepard, KD5GSL.
Growing up, you live in a certain block. Your world first is just that block. And you go to school, and your horizons keep expanding as you progress through school. We opened their eyes to a horizon that they didn't even know about, and that was out in space.
In 1996, a junior high school teacher filled in an application for her school to make contacts with astronauts.
My name is Rita Wright. My call sign is KC9CDL. I was a science teacher.
The first full mission in the newly completed International Space Station happened in the fall of 2000. Wright's school was selected to make the very first ham radio contact. Finally, in December, the students all gathered in the school auditorium for the first school contact with the brand new space station.
The actual contact itself was in our auditorium. All of the students were there, and we had set up on stage the radios. It was very, very exciting, the actual contact.
Wright says a ham radio contact wasn't quite in the regular curriculum.
It was not something that was ordinarily done in a classroom situation. I mean, you go into your classroom, you're given a textbook, and you teach page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. What I tried to do was do that, plus bring into the classroom the excitement of what's out there today and what could be tomorrow for them. Of course, they had to learn the basic lessons in science. That's what I taught them. But I also tried to bring to them what else is out there and what opportunities they could take advantage of or, they could follow. I always was trying to open up the world, so to speak, to the kids as much as I could.
Retired schoolteacher Rita Wright, recalling the very first International Space Station to school ham radio contact 15 years ago. For the Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Several distinguished radio amateurs are being honored by the Radio Club of America at its awards banquet and technical symposium November 21st in Cupertino, California. Amateur Radio Newsline's Heather Emby, KB3TZD, has the details.
The annual gathering of the Radio Club of America is one of the top events in wireless communications. The group uses the opportunity to tap radio standouts and acknowledge them for their hard work. The extensive list of honorees this year includes a number of hardworking hams. Dr. Nathan Cohen, W1YW, has been chosen to receive the Alfred H. Greb Award in recognition of the achievement of excellence in engineering and manufacturing of radio equipment. David Bart, KB9YPD, is receiving the Ralph Batcher Memorial Award for helping preserve the history of radio and electronic communications, including the Radio Club of America's own history. Timothy J. Duffy, K3LR, has been chosen to receive the 2015 President's Award for his unselfish dedication in supporting the club. Gerald L. Agliata, W2GLA, was chosen to receive the Edgar F. Johnson Pioneer Citation in appreciation of his longtime and substantial contributions to the success of the club. Carol Perry, WB2MGP, a well-known ham radio education advocate, is being presented with the Vivian A. Carr Award, recognizing her contributions as a woman in wireless communications. The keynote speech at the banquet presentation will be delivered by David Leeson, W6NL. He will discuss Silicon Valley's bountiful community of entrepreneurs in the communications field. As the list of awardees show, opportunity and creativity is everywhere.
Radio Amateurs of Canada is also paying tribute to two notable amateurs by appointing them to the Canadian Amateur Radio Hall of Fame. The recent appointees are Jim Dean, VE3IQ of Ottawa, Ontario, and Pharrell Hoppy Hopwood, VE7RD of North Vancouver, British Columbia. Inclusion into the Hall of Fame means the amateurs have achieved outstanding efforts in their service to amateur radio in Canada or amateur radio in general. More details about the awards and the honorees' contributions will appear in a forthcoming edition of Canadian Amateur Magazine. Congratulations to all of these distinguished and deserving radio amateurs. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for over 37 years and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, Heather Emby, KB3TZD, and Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW 73, and we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.